The book of Jeremiah tells a tragic story of a prophet and his people. Jeremiah, chosen by God to speak truth to power, found himself facing the wrath of the Judeans. His message, filled with warnings of impending doom, was not well received. The king and his officials saw Jeremiah as a traitor, a harbinger of ill tidings. They sought to silence him, to bury his words and his influence. Jeremiah's prophecies grew increasingly bleak as the Babylonians, under the reign of Nebuchadnezzar II, advanced upon Jerusalem. The prophet's warnings, once dismissed as the ramblings of a madman, now rang with terrifying truth. The walls of Jerusalem, once thought impenetrable, were crumbling. The city, once a beacon of hope, was on the brink of destruction. In their desperation, the Judean officials turned on Jeremiah. They saw him as the cause of their misfortune, a scapegoat for their impending doom. They accused him of treason, of collaborating with the enemy. They cast him into a deep, muddy cistern, a pit designed for slow and agonizing death. Left to die in the darkness and filth, Jeremiah's cries for help went unanswered. His own people, the very people he sought to warn, had abandoned him to his fate. It seemed as though all hope was lost, and Jeremiah would become another victim of the Babylonian siege. In the depths of Jeremiah's despair, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected source. Ebed Melech, a Cushite eunuch in the service of King Zedekiah, heard of the prophet's plight. Moved by compassion and a deep sense of justice, Ebed Melech refused to stand idly by. He knew he had to act, to raise his voice against the injustice he witnessed. Ebed Melech, whose name means servant of the king, was a man of significant standing in Zedekiah's court. He was likely responsible for overseeing foreign dignitaries and matters related to the kingdom's relations with other nations. Despite his position of power, Ebed Melech remained humble and compassionate, demonstrating a deep reverence for God and his prophet. He approached King Zedekiah and with great courage and eloquence pleaded for Jeremiah's life. He reminded the king of Jeremiah's status as a prophet of the Lord, a man chosen by God to speak his word. He argued that Jeremiah's imprisonment was not only unjust, but also an affront to God himself. King Zedekiah, moved by Ebed Melech's passionate plea, granted him permission to rescue Jeremiah. Ebed Melech, wasting no time, gathered 30 men and with ropes and old rags descended into the cistern. He gently lifted the weakened prophet from the pit, saving him from certain death. But Ebed Melech's compassion did not end there. He continued to care for Jeremiah, providing him with food and shelter as the Babylonian siege tightened its grip on Jerusalem. The book of Jeremiah identifies Ebed Melech as a Cushite. Cush, often referred to as Ethiopia in some translations, was a region located south of Egypt, encompassing parts of modern-day Sudan and Ethiopia. The Cushites were a dark-skinned African people known for their rich culture, military prowess, and strong kingdoms. Ebed Melech's presence in the royal court of Zedekiah underscores the diversity of ancient Judah. It challenges the common misconception of a racially homogeneous ancient Near East. Ebed Melech's story highlights the presence and influence of Africans in positions of power and authority in biblical times. The text does not shy away from identifying Ebed Melech's ethnicity. It explicitly states that he was a Cushite, emphasizing his African heritage. This detail is crucial in understanding the dynamics of the story and the significance of Ebed Melech's actions. He was not simply a servant of the king, he was a black man who risked his own life to save the prophet of a foreign god. A black man who risked his own life to save the prophet of a foreign god.